What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over and talking about our best running backs in College Football 25 Ultimate Team and ranking them on a tier list from S to F. Now, if you look at the running backs that we do have in the game, we don't even have that many running backs. We really don't. When you're talking about cards that are like 86 overall or higher, that's who I went with. And we really don't have that many. If you're using a running back that is lower overall than an 86, it's fine, but that's what you should be going for. You should be going for like an 86 overall or higher. In my opinion, that's what's going to probably lead you guys to having the most success. That's just my opinion. Now, if you disagree with me, let me know that down below in the comments, but just kind of where I'm at. Now, let's start with the two Field Phenom cards. These cards today should be relatively inexpensive, just for the sole fact Field Phenoms did come out today. To be honest, what I'm talking about, I think both these cards are B-tier running backs. And we'll talk about both of them as we do dive into it with Genty, with, the other one as well, with Genty, with Brown. Genty going to be more of a receiving running back, and that's fine. Everybody's their own player. 85 catching, obviously, really solid speed acceleration. Really good at catching the ball out of the backfield. Now, as far as a pure running back, like that you're going to run the ball with, I think there are better options in the game. But again, when you're talking about receivers out of the backfield, Genty is going to be one of the best. Now with Brown, little better acceleration. Brown is more of a power back, whereas Genty is going to have a little better spin, maybe a little better juke. Really is all personal preference, what you personally prefer more. I think both of them are really good running backs. I think both of them deserve to be at B tier. Bijan Robinson, I think, is a little bit better than both Brown and Genty, and I'll explain why I do believe that. Good speed, good acceleration, really good spin, really good juke, really good trucking. Not going to catch the ball as well as Ashton Genty, but pretty solid still at an 80 out of the backfield. For me, I just think Bijan Robinson is a little better like version of Ashton Genty, right? Pretty similar players. Robinson's going to be just a stud out of the backfield. Is he worth, the 75,000 coins that you're going to lose on, buying him and then reselling him back whenever? I don't necessarily know, but I do think he is an A tier running back right now in the game. CJ Spiller is going to be one of the two guys that are at S tier. CJ Spiller is my running back, and I think he should be nearly everybody's running back if you can afford him. 240,000 coins. It's kind of went up a little bit in price over the last couple of days, and it makes sense why. The card's an absolute beast. 90 speed, 90 acceleration. There's just not many flaws in this card. Great spin, great juke, can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield, can be a little bit of a power back, good break tackle. I don't necessarily love his trucking ability, but everything else CJ Spiller is going to do at a really solid level. He is my running back and probably is going to be my running back for quite some time, and that's just kind of the way I personally am right now. I love CJ Spiller, so why change it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. CJ Spiller has been a stud for me, so he's going to be my running back for a while. CJ2K, Chris Johnson, he is your budget running back in this video that I would recommend. If you don't like the budget CJ Spiller or the budget Ricky Williams, we'll talk about all of them. Chris Johnson's really good because this 86 overall is going to have 87 speed. He is still going to be pretty fast out of the backfield, be a guy that you can kind of be a plug and play type player. And I don't like necessarily saying that, but that's the truth with Chris Johnson. You can plug him in your lineup and he is going to be just fine with that 88 or 87 speed. 88 CJ Spiller, he's B tier, right in there with Antonio Brown as well as Ashton Genty. Now the thing is with this CJ Spiller 88 overall, 56,000 coins, gonna be relatively inexpensive as well. It really all is personal preference. Do you prefer CJ Spiller or Ashton Genty more? But I still do like this 88 CJ Spiller and still think, especially like when Sunday rolls around with this legend drop, 88 CJ Spiller should be in a little bit more inexpensive, a little bit more affordable. So if he fits your squad, do ultimately what you guys have to do, and you can pick the card up and run him. 87 CJ Spiller, I'm going to go C tier. 86 CJ Spiller, I'm going to go D tier. Everything else outside of the speed, I mean, CJ Spiller probably is going to have a little bit better of than Chris Johnson, but I've used Chris Johnson quite a bit this year, and I've found a lot of success with the card. So I'm going to put some respect on his name, give him the same tier as that 86 CJ Spiller. Christian McCaffrey, I'm going to go C tier. Another one of those cards, you can buy him for $250 right now and resell him for $175. But why? Why? When Bijan Robinson is that same type of player. Christian McCaffrey was so good for his time. Problem is that time is came, that time is went, and it's over with. Christian McCaffrey still okay. He is C tier though for me. DeAnthony Thomas gonna be our only other running back at S tier. He is faster than CJ Spiller. That is something that CJ Spiller cannot make up for. Like again, DeAnthony Thomas is going to be faster. The thing that I don't like with DeAnthony Thomas is the fact that his trucking is so low. Like at least with CJ Spiller, occasionally like you're just in a situation you have to truck. CJ Spiller can do that. DeAnthony Thomas can't. DeAnthony Thomas has great change of direction, great juke move. I don't know who's better between these two. I think they're about the same. The price difference is crazy, though. The fact that DeAnthony Thomas is 800,000 coins, to me, is a pretty big turnoff. Donovan Edwards up next. I'm going to go A tier with Donovan Edwards. I think because of how he receives the ball out of the backfield, he does deserve that. I think he is a better version of another guy like Ashton Genty. Whereas Donovan Edwards has great trucking, great juke move, great spin move, great catching the ball out of the backfield. And honestly, if you're looking for one of the better running backs in the game and don't want to lose a ton of coins, you could buy him for $250, knowing you can always resell him for $175. I don't necessarily know if I love that. Again, he does drop open passes. That's a little bit of a red flag, but the 85 catching is really nice. If you do like to throw the ball a lot, Donovan Edwards could absolutely fit your scheme. Hayden up next. I think C tier is right, and you're seeing a lot of like these overalls, right? 87 overalls are C tier, 86s are D tier, 88s are either A or B. For me, Hayden's not horrible, and as I look at the card, like he's fine. I just wish the card was a little bit faster. Like if I'm really having a red flag with this card, it's that 86 speed rating that I just personally wish was a little bit better. Good truck, good break tackle, has a decent spin, has a decent juke, does a lot of things really, really well on the field. One thing that's a little bit concerning to me is that catching. 71 catching, obviously out of the backfield. I like to throw the ball a lot, so he's not my type of running back. Quinshon Judkins. Here's the tough part. Is he A tier? Is he S tier? I'm going to go A tier, right in there with Robinson, right in there with Donovan Edwards. I think, the difference between S tier and A tier, there's definitely a difference, but all of the cards at A tier can play and compete at a decent level. And that's what I want you guys to know and realize is just because the cards at S tier I like a little bit better doesn't mean the cards at A tier still can't play for you, because they absolutely can play. They absolutely can compete. And Judkins was my running back for the early part of this game. And trust me when I tell you guys, he is an absolute beast that you guys can use and have a lot of success with. Next up, Ollie Gordon. At this stage, D tier. Another card that if you got early on, you can always quick sell him, but it stinks, right? It stinks if you have all this, all these coins invested into him and you can only quick sell him for 175,000 coins. Jaden Ott, he's a weird back. He's a really weird back. And I think I'm going to have to go C tier, but I don't mind Jaden Ott. Maybe it's because I got him on my fantasy team, but he's got really good trucking. He breaks a lot of tackles, catches the ball decently. He's definitely not a B tier running back. He definitely is C tier, but I don't hate Jaden Ott whatsoever. I've actually, used the card a little bit, and he's been fine for me. Ruben Owens, he's deserving of B tier. This is an 88 overall that absolutely can play. Can't really spin, can't really juke, so he's got to fit your play style. If you're one that you like to run the ball up the middle and truck people and kind of ground and pound, Ruben Owens could be your guy. Out on the perimeter in the catching pass game, as far as, spin, juke move, that is not going to be a strength of Ruben Owens. So you got to know what you're getting out of the card. He's fine, but there are just better running backs in the game. B tier is where he belongs. 86 Ricky Williams. I don't mind him. D tier though. 88 Ricky Williams is a beast. B tier. I've used this 88 Ricky Williams a ton. And if you are a guy that, likes using the budgetish options, Ricky Williams is one of my favorite, probably my favorite 88 overall running back. Saquon Barkley, gonna throw him at this stage in D tier. He did have his time where he was pretty solid, has a really good juke move, does some things, really, really well for you guys on the field. But for me, when I'm talking about the best running backs in the game, I just like some other cards a little bit better. D tier for Saquon Barkley. Last but certainly not least, Jonathan Taylor. F tier. The worst card on this list. And it kind of pains me that Jonathan Taylor is the worst card on this list, because it's going to sound bad. I don't hate him. I got a BND version of the card. But when you're talking about the best running backs in the game, Jonathan Taylor, sadly, is F tier. That's going to wrap it up for our running back tier. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Who was I too high on? Who was I too low on? Ultimately, who did I miss out on? Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.